We'll be showing a video about Russia and why Russian women love Turkish men. Later in the video, you'll see why Russians, especially Russian women, are blonde. Russia, officially the Russian Federation, is a country in northern Eurasia governed as a federal semi-presidential republic, bordering Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, China, Mongolia, and North Korea. One, Russia stretches from northwestern Europe across Asia to the Pacific Ocean. It also shares maritime borders with Japan, the United States, Alaska, and Turkey. With the largest land area of any country, Russia covers more than 1/8 of the Earth's inhabited land. As of 2024, it is the world's 9th most populous country, with 146.1 million people. Extending across much of northern Asia and Eastern Europe, Russia spans 9 time zones and encompasses a variety of environments and landforms. The history of Russia begins with the Eastern Slavs, who emerged as a distinct group in Europe between the 3rd and 8th centuries. In the 9th century, the medieval state of Kievan Rus was founded and ruled by the Varangians. The adoption of Orthodox Christianity from the Byzantine Empire in 988 led to a synthesis of Byzantine and Slavic cultures, shaping Russian identity for the next millennium. Subsequently, the Kievan Rus fragmented into several smaller principalities, many of which were conquered by the Mongols and incorporated into the Golden Horde. With the decline of the Golden Horde in the 15th century, independent Russian principalities gradually reunited to form the Grand Duchy of Moscow, which became the successor to the cultural and political legacy of Kievan Rus. By the 18th century, through extensive conquests, annexations, and exploration, Russia had become the Russian Empire, one of the 3 largest empires in history, stretching from Poland in Europe to Alaska in North America. Following the October Revolution of 1917, the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic became the world's first constitutional socialist state and the largest and leading founding member of the Soviet Union, a superpower that played a decisive role in the Allied victory in World War II. During the Soviet era, the country achieved some of the 20th century's most significant technological advancements, including the launch of the world's first artificial satellite and the first manned spaceflight. The Russian Federation was established in 1991 following the dissolution of the Soviet Union and is considered its successor state. Internationally, Russia ranks among the lowest countries in terms of democracy, human rights, and press freedom, and it also has a high level of corruption. Russia's economy is the 9th largest in the world by nominal GDP and the 6th largest by purchasing power parity. Russia possesses some of the world's largest mineral and energy resources and is one of the world's largest producers of oil and natural gas. Russia is one of the 5 recognized nuclear weapon states and possesses one of the world's largest stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction. It is also a major power and a permanent member of the UN Security Council, as well as a member of the G20, APEC, SCO, Eurasian Economic Union, OSCE, WTO, and a leading member of the Commonwealth of Independent States. The name Russia is derived from Rus, a medieval state inhabited primarily by East Slavs. The Latin form of the name, Ruthenia, was commonly used in Catholic Europe to refer to the western and southern parts of the Rus land. The current name of the country, Rossia, originates from the Greek form of Rus, Rosia, which was used by the Byzantine Empire when referring to Kievan Rus. The vast steppes of southern Russia in prehistory were home to nomadic tribes. The remains of these steppe civilizations have been discovered at sites such as Ipatovo, Sintashta, Arkham, and Pazrid, and bear the earliest known traces of mounted warfare, a hallmark of nomadic life. In classical antiquity, the Pontic-Caspian steppe was known as Scythia. In the 8th century BCE, ancient Greek traders introduced their mercantile civilization to Tanais and Phanagoria. In the 3rd and 4th centuries CE, a semi-legendary Gothic kingdom existed in southern Russia at Oyam before being overrun by the Huns. Between the 3rd and 6th centuries CE, the Bosporan Kingdom, a successful Hellenistic polity among Greek colonies, was destroyed by nomadic incursions from the Huns and Eurasian Avars. The Khazars, a Turkic people, dominated the steppes between the Volga and the Black Sea until the 10th century. The ancestors of modern Russians are considered by some scholars to be Slavic tribes whose original homeland was the wooded areas of the Pripyat marshes. The Eastern Slavs settled in western Russia in two ways, one moving from Kiev towards modern-day Suzdal and Murom, and the other from Polotsk towards Novgorod and Rostov. From the 7th century onwards, the Eastern Slavs became the majority population in western Russia and gradually, albeit peacefully, assimilated the local Finno-Ugric peoples such as the Maria, Uromians, and Meshkera. The establishment of the first East Slavic states in the 9th century coincided with the arrival of the Varangians from the Baltic region, who were traders, warriors, and settlers. Initially, these arrivals were primarily Vikings of Scandinavian origin who came via the waterways from the eastern Baltic to the Black and Caspian Seas. According to the primary chronicle, a Varangian named Rurik from the Rus people was elected ruler of Novgorod in 862. In 882, his successor Oleg, who had previously paid tribute to the Khazars, captured Kiev from the south and established the Kievan Rus. Oleg, followed by Rurik's son Igor and Igor's son Sviatoslav I, subsequently subjugated all locally Slavic tribes to Kievan rule, destroyed the Khazar Khaganate, and launched various military campaigns against the Byzantines and Persians. From the 10th to the 11th centuries, the Kievan Rus became one of the largest and most prosperous states in Europe. Under the reigns of Vladimir the Great and his son Yaroslav the Wise, Kievan Rus experienced its golden age, during which Orthodox Christianity was adopted from the Byzantine Empire and the first East Slavic written law code, the Ruskaya Pravda, was established. Constant raids by nomadic Turkic tribes, such as the Kipchaks and Pecheneg, during the 11th and 12th centuries forced a significant portion of the Slavic population to migrate northwards to the safer, heavily forested regions known as Zalesye. The Kievan Rus was also marked by internal struggles among members of the Rurikid dynasty during this period of feudalism and decentralization. The power of Kiev waned in favor of principalities such as Vladimir Suzdal in the northeast, Novgorod in the northwest, and Galicia Volhynia in the southwest. The Mongol invasion of 1237 to 1240 dealt a devastating blow to the Kievan Rus, leading to its collapse and the loss of half its population. The subsequent establishment of the Mongol-Turkic Golden Horde resulted in the subjugation of the Russian principalities for 2 centuries. The former territories of Kievan Rus, including Galicia Volhynia, which was eventually assimilated into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Mongol-dominated Vladimir Suzdal Principality, and the Novgorod Republic, formed the basis of the modern Russian nation. Novgorod, along with Pskov, retained a degree of autonomy under Mongol rule and was spared much of the devastation experienced by the rest of the country. Under the leadership of Prince Alexander Nevsky, the Novgorodians defeated the invading Swedes at the Battle of Neva in 1240 and thwarted the Teutonic Knights' attempt to colonize northern Russia at the Battle of Lake Peipus in 1242. Russia spans approximately 8,000 kilometers along a geodesic line between 2 widely separated points: the Vistula Spit, a 60 kilometers long strip of land separating the Vistula Lagoon from the Gulf of Gdansk on the Polish border, and the Kuril Islands in the far southeast. Measured along a line of longitude, the distance between the westernmost point, the Vistula Spit, and the easternmost point, the island of Great Diomede, is approximately 6,600 kilometers. The Russian Federation is divided into 9 time zones. Russia's landscape is predominantly characterized by steppes in the south, vast coniferous forests in the north, and tundra along its northern coast. Russia possesses approximately 10% of the world's arable land. Due to the country's vast size and the remoteness of many regions from the sea, a humid continental climate dominates most of Russia, excluding the tundra in the north and the extreme southeast. The mountains in the south block the penetration of warm air masses from the Indian Ocean, while the western and northern parts of the country are influenced by the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans. Northern European Russia and much of Siberia have a subarctic climate. The interior of northeastern Siberia experiences extremely harsh winters, while other regions have milder climates. The Arctic coast and the Russian Arctic islands have a polar climate. The coastal regions of Krasnodar Krai on the Black Sea, especially Sochi, enjoy a subtropical climate with warm, rainy winters. While winters in many parts of eastern Siberia and the Far East are dry compared to summers, other regions of the country experience more evenly distributed precipitation throughout the year. In most parts of the country, precipitation during winter is generally in the form of snow. The regions along the lower Volga and the Caspian Sea, as well as some parts of southern Siberia, have a semi-arid climate. The country experiences two distinct seasons, winter and summer, with short spring and autumn periods. The temperature difference between summer and winter is significant. January is generally the coldest month, while July is the warmest. There is a significant temperature gradient from south to north and west to east during winter. Summers can be quite warm, even in Siberia. The interior regions are the driest. According to the World Tourism Organization, Russia ranked as the 16th most visited country in the world and the 10th most visited country in Europe in 2018, with over 24.6 million international arrivals. Russia's international tourism receipts amounted to $11.6 billion in 2018. The country ranked 39th in the 2019 Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report. According to the Federal Tourism Agency, the number of foreign tourists visiting Russia in 2019 was 24.4 million. Popular tourist activities in Russia include river cruises on major rivers such as the Volga, hiking in mountain ranges like the Caucasus and Ural Mountains, and the Trans-Siberian Railway journey. Some of Russia's most visited and iconic landmarks include Red Square, Peterhof Palace, Kazan Kremlin, the Trinity Sergius Lavra, the Hermitage Museum, and Lake Baikal. In 2019, travel and tourism contributed approximately 4.8% to the country's GDP.